Many immigrants settled on the plains of the upper Midwest starting in the late 1800s and brought this way of life to the area. They were drawn to settle here by the Homestead Act, which promised 160 acres of public land to those willing to work the land and live on it for 5 years. In the early 1900s, horses played a vital role in helping pioneers cultivate the unbroken land. Horses not only helped pioneers with their work, but also provided transportation and the power needed to operate important machinery on the farm. These hard-working farmers relied on the animals to help put food on the table for their families. With the invention of steam traction and internal combustion engines, the reliance on these powerful animals dwindled as new ways of farming developed. However, interest in the way things used to be done has not been lost. During the mid-1970s, near a small town called Fort Ransom in the southeastern part of North Dakota, there was a group of men that enjoyed working with old machines, horses, and horse-powered machinery. These men were looking for a way to share their knowledge of the old pioneer ways of threshing and their love of these powerful animals. These common interests helped guide the formation of an organization called the Fort Ransom Sodbuster Association, which was incorporated in the early 1980s.
The real theme of our organization is to preserve the heritage of our ancestors and to pay tribute to the efforts that they put in to build this country for us.
Around that same time, the director of North Dakota's Fort Ransom State Park was looking for a good way to showcase the SUNY Farm. This farm is located inside the state park, nestled in the scenic and historic Cheyenne River Valley.
When I first became the manager here in 1983, our director, Doug Aiken, said he wanted to get something going down here at the farm. We had the farm with the farmhouse and the barn and a few outbuildings, and he wanted to get something going. And I got to talking with a few of the locals, and Ken Grothe, Richard Berklid, Orville Peterson, Don Sweet, and they were all involved with farming and horse machinery and stuff like that. And we decided to put on a little one-day show where they'd bring out their horses and give buggy rides and do a little plowing, and some ladies served a little food, and that was kind of the beginning of our Sodbuster Days, and that was I think we did it in August of 1984.
We came up here and looked at this, and they said what an ideal place to have a demonstration of our early pioneer history, our heritage.
We call it the SUNY Demonstration Farm because we want to kind of demonstrate some of these activities, yet we still have some modern stuff. We have electric, we've got running water, we've got some things like that around, so we're kind of calling it a demonstration farm as opposed to a living history farm, which has to be more authentic and more to detail and more period correct than what we have here. We take a few liberties here, but we still think we put on a good demonstration for the public, and they can get an idea what it was like for Grandpa when he had to work the fields with the horses and you know, the settlers that settled this land, what kind of machinery they had to work with.
The fact that we're established here at the state park has some very good advantages for us because the grounds are kept up. We don't have to worry about that. There are certain things we don't have to worry about, insurance, liability insurance, and things like that, because we're here. And it benefits the park because it draws people into the park. And also these things are here year-round.
The name Sodbusters is the organization's way of paying tribute to the immigrants that came to the area and started farming the land. Norwegians were the largest single ethnic group of immigrants, while most others were of Scandinavian or Germanic origin. Usually the husband came to the United States first without his family to homestead the land under the United States Homestead Act. He established a farmstead, which is what they called the area that included the farm's land and buildings. These homesteaders were the first to break up and work the soil of the plains. This breakup of native prairie is where the Sodbusters got the inspiration for their name. Every year, Sodbuster Days takes place the second weekend in July, and the weekend after Labor Day on the SUNY Farm inside Fort Ransom State Park. Andrew Sunni emigrated from Norway and homesteaded this land in 1884. He built his family a log cabin on the top of the hill.
A lot of Scandinavian immigrants did this because Norway, for example, is a very mountainous country, and by coming to this valley and building on top of the hill and looking down over the valley, it kind of made them a little less homesick.